Futuwwa is a part of this conversation that we're having, translated loosely as chivalry. And there's a lot that's written on this notion, this concept. Futuwwa in and of itself is not a male-only characteristic. You can be fatah if you are male or female. The Quranic narratives that surround this concept are tied in some places to the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, a young man who is distinguished by his nobility just of knowing what it is that he believes in and standing up for right in the face of all wrong. He reaches a certain pinnacle not because he is taking on external idols, but he's able to break idols that exist within him. He embodies a sense of mindfulness, a sense of understanding that gives him a proximity to the divine and allows for him to not be anything less than one who takes on injustice in every shape and form. This concept of futuwwa was something that ran rampant through our history. Literally, there was honor societies and guilds that were built throughout the Muslim world. The sole purpose was people going out and helping other people, being hospitable, being generous, being people of integrity, people of trust, people who were truthful, giving away what they had so that others would have more and they might have less, but they understood that it wasn't about empty stomachs, but about full hearts. They had an affirmation of what it was that they believed in, and they moved forward based off of those values, those guiding moral principles. Imam Qushayri, rahimahullah, when he defines and identifies this word futuwwa in his risala, amongst many things, he says that chivalry, futuwwa, is that the servant constantly strives to serve others. The basic fundamental framework of it is that you serve your God by serving his creation. You want to build ideas of positive masculinity? I'm going to go through a few points through Imam Qushayri's definition. The first being this idea of serving others, real service. Take a point in your week, your day, your month to go and just be something for somebody else. I'm not from here. I don't know how you could do that here. We just had a great presentation that talked about foster care. The reality is such then means that if you need people to be foster care agents and parents, then there are young people who need foster homes. And if there are young people who need foster homes, then they're going to need a lot more holistically to help them get back on their feet, given the realities of what they face. Why you want to do that primarily is for your own heart. To be in a place where it's not about debasement, but real strength and empowerment, that recognizing that it's a great station from God, that you can actually be the vehicle through which he feeds his creation, through which he clothes his creation, through which he gives shelter to his creation, through which he gives hope, strength, love to his creation. And then beyond the idea of how it can be something good for you, you help it to be a mechanism that exemplifies good behavior for those who are around you. You don't do it because it's the norm. You do it because it's the necessity. Young people, old people need to see you go out there and do real service. If you set yourself with a tangible, specific goal, that allows for you to understand service in a day, in a week, through quantifiable hours. I will make a firm commitment right now that 1 hour each week, 3 hours each week, 5 hours each week, I'm just going to go out and do something for somebody else. But you tangibly make it specific so that in the ambiguity of it, you don't not do something. So if I say, I'm going to exercise more, that can mean 5 minutes more. That can mean 5 hours more. You need specificity to have a milestone that you can actively reach and then work beyond. This is what the Prophet of God did. He was constantly in motion for 23 years, just serving God's creation. Putting himself out there. Again, in Al-Adab al-Mufrad, there's a hadith where the companions say that there was not ever anything that Muhammad was asked to do that he said no to. He's just made of something different. Living in a place where it's just constant service to others. Young and old, male and female, Muslim, non-Muslim, every race, every ethnicity, every class. And then where you elevate that service is beyond the individual, you build it institutionally. You recognize you have skills, talents, credentials, resources that would allow for the longevity of certain institutions. If this foster care program is looking for funds, it's looking for volunteers, it also needs your skills to grow. So your service can be through unique talents that you have. I don't know graphic design. You do. I'm not a doctor. You are. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an engineer. I'm not an academic. Maybe I am. But you possess certain qualities that the rest of us might not possess. I have a teacher who studied usul al-fiqh for 7 years, Islamic legal theory. We were in a meeting and somebody walked in and asked him, what do you think about the way this website looks? And he said, why are you asking me this? I don't know these things. Religious scholarship does not equate solely to authority or leadership alone. You can't expect people who know theology, who understand law, who understand Sharia, Quran, Hadith, to be the people who build what it is that we need alone. There's hadith where people come to the Prophet of God who are farmers and they plant their crop based off of his advice. And when they plant it and it's time for harvest to be yielded, nothing really grows from it in the ways that it's grown before. And when they go and they ask him about why it is that he told them to plant in the way that he did, he responds to them and says, why do you ask me? I'm not a farmer. I'm just a human. Tap into your skills and go and build in ways that are not just like this, but are like this. Because your building is not for your sake. It's not to make yourself feel better, but you understand you can be a catalyst to make somebody else's life better. So what the Imam says is futuwwa, is that the servant strives constantly to serve others.